Can we do it?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vibration, where we empower individuals to speak their distinct truth, passions, and personal message on a global online stage. I'm your host, Mechelle McDonald, passionate foodie, author, and entrepreneur. And today I give a special announcement for our sponsor, Amber L, a Bahamian artisan skincare company that encourages you to nourish your everyday skin glow. Today, our very special guest is none other than the one and only Salem Cunningham. Salem, welcome to the stage.
Hey.
It is such a pleasure to have you. You are a very familiar face when it comes to the Dundas as well as other productions. But for those who, for some reason, do not know you, give us a little intro and insight into who you are.
All right, cool. Hi there. So I am an actor, I am a director, and I am an all-around artist and creative. Mainly in the visual arts and performance field. I do many things across that.
Listen,
yeah.
so much versatility. Thank you for that, Salem. Now, we go a little ways back. We've had a bit of a journey. We met
yes.
briefly at the Keys conference.
Yeah.
Along with Whitley. And then we both happened to be cast for Sincerely You.
That was crazy.
Which is awesome. And we've continued to stay connected, which really shows a lot when it comes to community.
Yeah.
Being a new actor, I really didn't know what to expect, but you, along with the other cast members and just people in the acting community in general, really welcomed me with open arms. But I have honestly really, really seen you come a long way.
Oh, when you said but, I got scared.
No, girl, I'm on your side. You are my guest today.
Thank you.
Nothing but flowers for you. So outside of being this awesome actress, and bringing to life different types of stories, I distinctly remember Night Mother.
Yes.
And that touched on a topic that many of us don't like to think about, but it exists and it impacts people. How did it feel going from the usual type of roles that you had to really putting in a certain level of emotion and deep intimacy with the type of character that you had to portray?
So, pertaining to my roles, I have played deeper roles before Night Mother, but they weren't as seen as like when I did Sincerely You and other things, where I'm typically seen as the funny best friend or the comedic relief or a different kind of role where I'm more of an outgoing person. Doing this role, it helped. It was cathartic for me because of my own personal journey with my mental health and because I also know people who struggle with it and have struggled with it who are no longer with us today.
Thank you for that, Salem. I appreciated your transparency in that moment and sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. So on to Sincerely You. That was quite a journey with us. And it's so interesting how we got to play best friends.
Oh, that was fun.
Yes.
Apples and oranges.
Apples and oranges. Listen, if you know, you know. And it really touches on, like, when it comes to acting, sometimes you just don't get it right away. Because at the time, we were strangers, in a sense, right?
Yeah. And when you mentioned that we had met for the first time at the Keys conference, I remember the first time that you told me that, and I was gagged. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you. Because you had a different hairstyle. And I was like, oh, who is this person? Okay, cool. She's cool. But then we ended up having a play together. And for people who may not know, in theater with that live production, you're dealing with live energy that you're putting out for this performance. And that's why it feels a certain way. And so when you're on stage with somebody, you have to be able to work in each other's energies. It's like a spiritual thing for me. It literally feels that way. There's something unseen there. And so having to get to that point with each other was definitely a journey. It was definitely interesting.
Yes, I particularly remember this exercise that we had to do to get comfortable.
I just rewatched
Oh
that
my
video.
goodness. That for me was like, what's going on? Because I was just such a newbie into this acting thing. And Val was convinced. She was like, you guys got to do this. We need you to portray like this unbreakable bond. So we got to see y'all have some level of adversity, which is
Yeah.
ironic, right?
Yeah, it is ironic. I believe that the people you're closest to see the ugliest sides of you. That is
good point.
the truth. And so I see where she was coming from with that, where we had to, because we also did have an argument in the play.
Yes.
And that wouldn't have looked realistic if it wasn't coming from a point of, I deeply care for you and that's why I'm so mad, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, at first, I'm not gonna lie, it really was a struggle for me because
It was
I'm just
funny to
so
watch.
aware of you, and like I don't want to get into your personal space. But the thing is, that's acting, right?
Yeah.
Like we're getting outside of our own boundaries. Some people have that circle. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you can't step in. You
Yeah.
need to stay out. And then I don't want to get into yours. But the thing is, with acting, like it's all mixed up.
Yes, like I was saying, it's like the enmeshing of the energies. Someone like T-Day, for example.
Oh.
T-Day's an actor,
Yeah,
obviously.
so
like, come
involved,
on,
dedicated.
it's T-Day.
Oh.
But like T-Day, he's like, he has like no fear when it comes to that. Ahead of time, there's always, you speak about the boundaries and what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with.
Yes.
So that you know how much playroom you have. He will reach over and just boom, whatever feels natural in the moment. And you have to be ready. And that's also all a part of it. It was funny. It was really funny watching you get into that because you were like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey, girl, I'm sorry. I'm going to push you.
This is just
I'm
part
gonna-
of the exercise.
I'm going to push you now, okay? I was like, that was not aggressive at all.
But we did it. We were both dedicated. I really, really stepped outside of my comfort zone, and we delivered on the stage. And you won Best Actress. Hello.
Oh, my God. Yes, I did. I did. Thank you. Thank you.
And the thing is, you have been in the industry for so many years. So outside of just a sincerely you performance, you absolutely deserve that, girl. You nailed
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate that. I've been acting for about 4 years now. And honestly, it's a childhood dream of mine to even be able to act,
Oh, I love that.
let alone win an award for acting. I definitely shed some tears. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yes.
recognition."
Yes, yes, yes. So what is it that inspires you into acting?
So, as a child, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be an actor or a dancer. Just performance has always enraptured me as a child. I grew up watching like High School Musical and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I am a theater kid.
Love me a good musical.
Yes.
Great.
Some people hate the musicals, but I love them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I grew up watching things like that and wanting to do it. I also grew up in the church, though. My family was Seventh-day Adventist, and I had the unfortunate experience as a child of I went to church, and they were like, what do you want to be? And I told them I wanted to be a dancer, actor, and they were like, no, you can't be that.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh. It crushed me. Yeah, it did.
Aw.
But as an adult, I took a college class, Introduction to Theater with Dr. Bethel.
Oh, hey.
Yes, I love you. Oh my God, literally, and that changed my life. Honestly, initially I went into it for set design and costume because I love fashion and stuff like that.
Yes.
But she was like, well, we had to act. We had to put on a show, and so I ended up acting, and I got like an A. And she was like, you should come and do short tales.
Yes.
And I was like, me? Okay. And then I did it, and then I met more people in the acting world, and that's when I got immersed in the Dundas.
Love.
And it literally just went from there. I just kept meeting more people and doing more things and auditioning. And it was very fun. It was easy to fall in love with it because the love was always there deep down.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Following your childhood dream. And I really like the fact that you stuck with it because, listen, we love our parents, like those before us. We respect them, we value them. And sometimes it's really hard because we feel like we're choosing between how they see us and what they want from us versus how we see ourselves and
Yeah.
how we want to be seen.
Yeah.
You went for it, girl. So, in addition to your Best Actress nomination, you were also nominated for Best Wardrobe for How to Not Get Married. And so that really touches on the other aspect of your creativity, which is fashion and design. Tell us about that.
I've always been fascinated by world building. I love watching people build sets. I love fictional and fantasy worlds. I don't necessarily even really watch them for the plot, like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. But I do love watching things like that to see the worlds that are being built because you can tell so much about the characters and the story by the world that it is presented in. If the place looks all, war torn, this is like a post apocalyptic vibe. If the place has certain furniture and a certain look to it, this is the 90s. I love all of that. I just really I love a good look as well. So, and then I personally love fashion myself.
Yes.
So, I've always loved all of that. World building it makes me happy.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see like this instant glow as you started talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Stuff like I love Hamilton. Right? Oh my gosh, I can't shut up about it.
Ah,
But I love
fan
Hamilton.
moments.
And I remembered seeing the behind the scenes of the costumes and how they had the set with the rotating thing in the center and all of that and how that went into the story. And I was gagged.
Nice.
And I've watched Hamilton numerous times. I won't say the number. But
It's okay. Your secret is safe with me. So since you are all about stage and design and it really kind of adding to the element of the area, kind of read the room for me. What kind of vibe are you getting from this little set?
So I'm definitely getting that island chic.
Oh,
Just because of this book here with the island on it. Then we have this, and then we have the wicker,
there you go.
which you always see that in your Grammy house or when you get like an Airbnb and it's waterside.
Oh,
type
yeah.
thing.
They're looking for that look.
Yes,
that
you know what I
feel,
mean,
you know?
right? And then we have the blues and the greens, which are the aquatic colors going on.
Nice,
So that's
nice. All right. So is it giving like Bahamian?
Yeah, it is giving Bahamian. And then
Nice,
there's the
good.
Sincerely You mask
Yes.
giving Sincerely You
Yes, there you go.
masquerade.
I love that. Great. Because the thing is, with vibration, it really is empowering Bahamians. And so I really put a lot into making that happen. So I thank the studio for providing this. I definitely had to keep it. But of course, this is from one of the authors that I interviewed, a Bahamian author. So we have Gigi Parker, Ernestia Frazier, and of course, like you said, Pop of Sincerely You.
Yeah.
Along with a
that's
little
cute.
Amber
And
L,
Of course, the Amber. I was going to say peppermint tea rose.
Hello.
Oh.
Got that. So, Salem, we have done a lot of talking, and I want us to get into our fun challenge for today.
All right, let's do it.
So, since we are talking about fashion, we're going to do a quick fire session, and I want you to tell me what first comes to mind when you hear these names or phrases.
Pertaining to fashion.
Yes.
Okay.
Theodore Elliott.
Theodore Elliott. That sounds like an old-timey name. So I'm thinking about like those jackets that they wore in like Hamilton with the fluffy neck.
House of Assembly.
House of Assembly, pink, and blue, because you always see the sky in the background.
Bahama Handprints.
Bahama handprints. It makes me think of Androsia. 'Cause
Okay.
their prints always resemble Androsia, and I love that.
Okay. And that was actually my next word, Androsia.
Oh, Androsia.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Androsia. But no, it makes me think of like the old fashioned, the Bahamian, like the doll with the hair scarf
Okay, I know what you
and the
mean.
little whole get up with the straw skirt.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a little twist at the end. Favorite Bahamian saying.
Marasek.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's so amazing. Like, you can say that on so many different intervals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like high, low, medium. Even if like a kid says it, it's like it means something different, but it's so
Medium is
Bahamian.
sending me. How do you say Marasek in a medium way?
You'd be like, "Manasek."
Oh no. No, yeah. You ate me up. That was
Yeah.
good. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I meant something different, right?
Yeah, it does. It has different meanings and I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put a little bit of a plug in there. So Theodore Elliott is a
Thank
young.
you so much for swinging back
It's
because
okay.
it wasn't until afterwards that the name literally clicked in my head. I said it sounded like an old timey name, but then I remembered him. You're about to tell me.
Oh no,
Yeah.
go ahead.
He's a fashion designer.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's
like
done
I've seen him on TV and stuff.
exactly. He's done so many amazing works, being seen around the world, and lately with Disney.
Yeah, I saw that.
Being the
collab.
first in so many different ways, and really putting Bahamian fashion out there. So kudos to you, Theo.
Yeah,
Excellent
you're
job.
doing a great job.
So thank you for that. You trusted me. We had an amazing time. You shared
Yeah.
your Bahamian slang favorite saying with
Yeah.
us. And I'm sure it's something that we all know and probably say all the time.
Yeah.
So touching on to fashion, I feel as though when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to theater, it's easily overlooked. I feel like persons focus a lot on the stage, character development when it comes to remembering your lines and being present and what action should you do. But the fashion, it evolves with the character. And I saw that
Yeah.
when you played your character on Brunch.
Oh
It
my gosh.
really showed the evolution. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
How do you feel fashion connects with character development or just theater overall?
Different clothing portrays different things. Even historically, you look at what people would wear back in the day, and different things meant different things.
Yes.
When you look on a police officer's uniform, what they're wearing lets you know their title and stuff like that. What you wore back in the day let people know whether you were poor or whether you were rich. And so I feel like there's a lot that goes into that. And then there's color theory. So if you're wearing, if I wanted to kind of like, okay, for instance, Shad Fur, right? He
yeah.
had his song Loser. And on the front of it, he's supposed to be looking almost like a homeless person, but he doesn't really look homeless. He's just wearing like dark, muted colors. But it's like there are no holes in his t-shirt. It's a crispy t-shirt.
Right.
But like it does give that vibe on the cover because of like the colors. So that was something that I did notice. In terms of the character that I played in Brunch, she's a worn out mom. She has 3 kids. She's exhausted.
Ah.
So lots of scarves because I don't have time to do my hair all the time. So I'm just going to put it in a scarf. I'm going to wear loose clothes. She was wearing sweatpants and stuff like that because I need to move around. I'm dealing with young children, you know? So that's the lifestyle. And so that would go into the clothes. Now, for the final scene, it is revealed that
yes.
I am an erotic novelist. And so that went into the outfit. I wore red because when you think red, it's like, bam. It's very attention-seeking, attention-grabbing. It's very loud, bold. And I wore a black little leather harness situation because it's erotic, you know what I mean? But it's not, it was a little tame. It was a little tame. You know, I had a little mini skirt on and then the fishnets and then the black boots. So it was out there, but it wasn't too crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a person. The character is still a person who's still a mom, who still like lives everyday life. Like in that scene, I was getting a drink.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm an erotic novelist and I'm showing that, I'm showing the change in my character because I'm putting more time and effort into how I look, and you can see that I'm still a person. So you don't have to go crazy with it, even though it is
True.
a costume.
Yes.
You know, unless it calls for that.
Absolutely. And I love how we take it from the idea of a costume to real life reality. This person is still an individual living their life. And you have given us so many amazing fashion tips on and off stage. how can we connect with you?
You can connect with me on Instagram mainly. My name on Instagram is Salem the Joy. I'm on Facebook, Salem Cunningham, and look out because I'm actually coming out with my own podcast
Ah,
later this year, Satiation and Cinema. So you
nice.
guys will be seeing that. That'll be
Love
cool.
it. Salem, thank you so much. You have given us so much information on stage design, fashion, character development. You have embodied it all. And we can just look at you, fashion everywhere. Love,
Thank
love,
you. I
love.
had to pull out the lavender docs for this.
There we go. And it has been an incredible session. I really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you having me.
Awesome. And thank you, audience, for tuning in for this episode of Vibration. I invite you to tune in next week as we raise your frequency and amplify your truth. Bye, everyone.